You know, one of the greatest privileges I have as a coach is watching someone remember who they really are. I'm Curtis McCullom, the founder of Bespoke Human Potential Coaching and the creator of the LGET mindset, which stands for learning, growing, expanding, and transforming. When people come to see me, they often tried everything: therapy, self help books, mindset work, and meditation, and yet something still feels stuck. It's not that they're broken, it's that their subconscious is still running an old program. My work is about helping people release those invisible blocks, the ones they don't even realize are there, so they can finally live with alignment, confidence, and purpose. What makes my approach different is that it's bespoke. I don't use cookie cutter scripts. Every process, every hypnosis, every meditation I create is customized to you, your values, your patterns, and your potential. What happens next isn't just a shift in mindset, it's a shift in identity. You stop reacting from those past and start creating from your future. In this story, you'll meet Karaleigh Garrison, a performer with incredible dreams who felt held back by unseen limitations. Together, we uncovered and released what was standing in her way. And what followed was a complete transformation, emotionally, mentally, and professionally. Her story is one of freedom, expansion, and rediscovery, and I believe it will inspire you to see what's truly possible for yourself. This is what happens when you align your mind, heart, and purpose. That is what happens when you embrace the LGET mindset of learning, growing, and expanding.
For anybody who is thinking about working with Curtis McCollum, I had the incredible opportunity of working with, in a really kind of deep capacity, of working one on one with Curtis for several months and deep diving into like the most intimate parts of my personality and of my life. And I want to take a few minutes to talk about what life-changing work this is that he does in his bespoke human potential coaching packages that he offers, because I am like a completely different person than I was when I first started working with Curtis. When I started Curtis's program, I had a lot of dreams, and I still have a lot of dreams, but I was on this edge of like, I couldn't figure out how to step into any of these things that I wanted to do with my life. And I wasn't even started. Like I hadn't even begun to live this life that I had dreamed of my entire existence. I hadn't even come close. I had all these things in the way that were keeping me from being who I always wanted to be. And so with Curtis's help, we went through a lot of the blocks that were keeping me, I was in my own way. They were keeping me from doing the things that I had always dreamed of. I've always dreamed of being a singer and a performer, and I was finding myself staying behind the scenes and backstage, and I was not living the life that I was always meant to live. I had a lot of underlying beliefs and a lot of things that I was sure just couldn't ever happen because of things I thought were true that it turned out were not true. And I had to learn how to change those ideas. And you have to understand that I have spent the last many, many years going through all of the modalities. I'm obsessed with human design. So I've gone through all the human design stuff. I have done dedicated meditation for a really long time, multiple times a day, like counseling and all the things and like deep diving. I've done inner child work. And that was really powerful. Like I learned so much through inner child work, but it still hadn't quite got me through some of these blocks. Right. And there's comes a time when like you've tried everything and you're like, how could I possibly try one more thing when nothing seems to work. Like, I'm just like, maybe I'm just not supposed to ever be there. And then I found Curtis and I was on his podcast and he offered me this option and I said, "Oh, I guess I'll try it." I was really hesitant to give something else a try when I'd been disappointed a lot or things had kinda sorta worked. And if you've been in that position where you're like, "Well, these things didn't not work, they just didn't quite fully blow everything open like you were promised or like you hoped they would." Like, it was like, "Where's the one thing that's gonna change everything?" Curtis, kind of the thing that changes all the things. But it's in a underground kinda subtle way that you don't realize until you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's gone." That limiting belief, that thing that was standing in my way, it's not there anymore. That pain that I held on to for so long, it's gone. It's not there anymore. So when I started this process and I started working with Curtis, I had things that I couldn't even talk about without crying. I had painful parts of my history that hurt, that were and I even now I'm like, "What were those?" Like, I can hardly remember them because 'cause I'm like, "Wait, what were those things?" But yeah, I remember, like, I remember consciously, but the pain's gone. Like, that weight on my soul isn't there anymore. It's like a freedom that I didn't know could exist. And so we do this timeline therapy, and we did this hypnosis, and those things aren't there anymore. They're not part of me anymore. They're just gone. And so I went from at the beginning of my time working with Curtis going, okay, I just want to make money performing. I just want to perform. I just want to be on stages. And I had this one opportunity and I got to go perform. And that was at the very beginning of this time when I was working with Curtis. And that ended. And I had this really kind of deep depression where I was like, I'm not sure I'm ever going to get to perform again. And we went through all these blocks, and I have ended up being in performance after performance after performance, show, bam, 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 right one after the other, even overlapping sometimes since then. And opportunities have blossomed before my eyes in a way that it feels magical. It feels like, how is this my life now? I'm literally auditioning for multiple shows right now with like just knowing that, like, this is my life, like, I'm gonna be on stages. I know that I'm on the right track. I know that because some of them are new, but some of them are people I've been working with that are like, "We know you, we love you, we want you," because now they've worked with me, and it's been just expansion beyond belief. It has been incredible, and it's really sometimes things are hard to put into words, and that's kind of where I'm sitting here. I'm like, "How do I describe how my life has changed over the several literally, it's been, like, months. Like, that's it. Like, it hasn't been, like, years since I worked with Curtis. It's been, like, a summer, and my life, it's literally a 360. I went from I was home all the time and I couldn't leave my house to I'm performing every weekend. I'm living the dream. Like, I'm living the life I always wanted to. And that doesn't mean that there's not hard things because life is always filled with hard things. But because of all the work that I did with Curtis, like the doors that have opened and I'm no longer standing in my own way, and the things that come at me that are hard don't feel as hard anymore because the pain that they were sticking to in the past, it's gone. Like, it's just gone. So it used to be that when, I would audition for something and I wouldn't get it, it felt like the end of the world. It felt like I'm never gonna get anything again, and so I would stop trying. I'd be so upset that I didn't get the lead and I didn't get the part I wanted, that I wouldn't keep trying. And I've now stepped into this realm of, okay, so it wasn't meant for me, keep trying, try a different role, and seeing myself from this powerful lens of what is meant for me? What are the roles that are meant for me? How am I supposed to show up in my power in this world? And through Curtis's particular meditations and hypnosis that he puts together that are meant for the individual person, because he has these custom like meditations that he does just for you. Those are so freaking powerful. Like, they're indescribable, like beyond. They change your mind. They change your mindset. They change you into the best version of yourself. Like, as you incorporate these ideas, you stop those neural pathways of like, I suck, I don't belong here, what am I doing? And you switch gears into the, oh, maybe I'm made for this. Maybe I am amazing. What if everything I want is on its way? Like you switch kind of from that negative bias over to the positive bias because you're incorporating his voice with these incredible affirmations that are tailored to you, what you need to hear, what your talents are, what is meant for you, tailored them in just the right way to you. And it changes you like from the inside out. And when you are different from the inside out, you act differently in the world and then your life changes. And it's amazing. It's hard to describe, as you can see, but I hope that this helps you understand just how powerful Curtis's work is. It's life changing, and it's probably the most powerful thing I've ever done. It's definitely the most powerful thing I have ever experienced. There are things and weights that are just gone, and I have a freedom that feels incredible, and I'm living a different life than I was when I first started working with Curtis. So if you're questioning whether this is for you, do it. Do it.
Every client's story is different, but what they all share is the moment where something inside says enough. That's when transformation begins. If you're ready to discover what's been holding you back and finally step into the life you're designed to live, let's talk. I'll offer a 15-minute complimentary personal introduction so we can see what's possible together.